Hi, it's Dr. Iris Crawford here, and happy Tuesday. Doing our weekly Facebook Live, and today I wanted to talk about sugar cravings because this is something that a lot of people have been talking about recently. And I think you might be surprised by some of the things that can cause sugar cravings. So if you're coming on, I want you to send me a thumbs up if this has ever happened for you. So you go to the store and you want something sweet, so you get a bag of cookies and you think, oh, I'll just have a couple and save the rest for later. And maybe later comes and you find that you scarfed down that bag of cookies because you had one and you couldn't control yourself and you had to eat all of them. That's happened to me a lot. And the problem with sugar cravings is that there's so many different things that can cause sugar cravings. So it's important to be able to understand what those causes are so that you can, do something about it. So the first thing that can be a possibility, the first cause of sugar cravings, is a low protein diet. Now you might be surprised at how much protein do we need? It depends. It depends on your muscle mass. It depends on your activity level. It also can depend on your digestion, your metabolism type. For example, all of my patients that come to me for weight loss, we test their metabolism type. And you can be a protein type metabolism or a carbohydrate type or a mixed type. So some of that has to do with just how you feel after you eat certain foods. So if you feel great after having lots of protein and not very many carbs, then you might require a little bit more protein than the next person. So low protein diets, the thing about protein is that it can sustain your energy levels. So if you have low protein coming in, then you run out of energy quicker and you're going to reach for those carbs for your energy. The other thing that's kind of a part two to this is a low fat diet. So low fat diet, which fat also sustains energy longer throughout the day. So if you if you're on a low fat diet, you could have a higher craving for sugar. The second thing is if you're doing a high carb diet. There's not many people out there intentionally doing a high carb diet these days, but sometimes you inadvertently do a high carb diet because we get addicted to carbs. This carb cycle, if your body is used to being spoon-fed the sugar and that energy, it's not going to want to do the harder thing, which is dip into your fat stores for the extra energy because that takes work. So the high carb diets will set you up for sugar cravings. The third thing is artificial sweeteners. So mostly I'm talking about the chemical sweeteners. There are some exceptions, but most of the chemical sweeteners like Splenda, Sweet and Low, and those types of things, they actually enable sugar cravings because they release chemicals in the brain that cause reward-seeking behavior. So they have other health issues, by the way. But if you're substituting sugar for chemical sweeteners, then you still are in that pattern of that sugar cycle. And the fourth thing is poor sleep. So when you are not getting sleep, and even one night of poor sleep, the next day and research shows this, you have a poor decision-making ability, and you end up making bad choices with your food choices. So your judgment skills kind of go out the window. Hi, Olivia. So people have been known to reach for junk foods after a night of little sleep. And then the fifth thing is stress. So stress, it directly causes sugar cravings because when we're stressed out, our decision-making skills are affected too, but it actually increases your cortisol production. And cortisol is that mean fight or flight hormone that we've talked about so much on here. And it actually increases insulin resistance. And when you're insulin resistant, your blood sugar can go through some changes which will cause sugar cravings. The sixth thing that causes sugar cravings is depression. And the reason why is because when we eat sugar, it actually increases serotonin. And serotonin is that one of the main feel-good neurotransmitters that the brain creates that helps us to feel happy. And when we eat sugar, it does increase that serotonin, so that's partly why it can become addictive. And the seventh thing that can cause sugar cravings is mineral deficiencies. So the biggest minerals that can be at play here are calcium, zinc, magnesium, and chromium. So these are all actually very common deficiencies, and it's good to make sure you've got really good quality minerals on board. Magnesium is my favorite mineral, and by the way, magnesium deficiency also specifically can cause chocolate cravings. So if you find yourself needing chocolate like every day, it could be a magnesium deficiency, or it could just be that chocolate is really delicious. And the eighth and final thing that I wanted to share with you today that causes sugar cravings is dehydration. So actually, dehydration can be easily mistaken for hunger or sugar cravings. So our thirst mechanism sometimes can be weakened, and we think we're hungry or we think we need sugar, but really we just need water. So you should be drinking half your body weight in ounces per day of water. And if you drink alcohol or caffeine, those are further depleting in fluids. So you need a little bit extra even for each cup. Drink an extra cup of water. So those are the 8 surprising causes of sugar cravings. So if you have sugar cravings in your life, then now you know some of the things you can look at to address those. And feel free to reach out to me if you need any further guidance with that. And I hope that empowers you with your health. And have a great day. We'll see you next time.